sucks. You can be emotional about the fact that attention equals money and influence, but you better not ignore it. My niece Skyla's story before, right? For the audience, I'll share it. My niece, we're sitting aside. Uncle Mike, have you heard about this lady who sits around and eats pickles all day and she makes $1 million a year?
You're listening to Burn Rate and Bullshit.
The show where founders, suits, and corporate clowns all get called the fuck out.
We're Josh Robinson and Mike Nathan, entrepreneurs turned VCs.
With zero filters, strong opinions, and a bullshit detector set to high.
Welcome to the only business podcast that actually tells it like it is.
I'm a desperate man. Send lawyers, guns, and money. This shit has hit the fan.
Mike, I suspect you have strong feelings on digital thought leadership. You may fancy yourself somewhat of an expert.
Fancy it, yes. Feel fancy about it.
You do feel fancy?
I do. Sometimes, not all the time. When I shower, get all dressed up, people say nice things to me. Is that not the feeling you're talking about? If we're talking about digital thought leadership.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well then, if you're leaving me an open-ended opening, I will just go. That'd be great, huh?
Yeah.
Better for content.
Yeah.
We're talking about
As long as it's not in the shower. Just go.
Well, here is news alert, flash, beep, 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 beep. You know, the World War II or the old school. You're tracking, right?
Yeah.
What I'm doing.
Yeah,
It's a news alert.
Yeah.
The world just changed. I don't know if you know that.
Mm-hmm.
The world just changed. And what it has said to us is, I don't want to buy the same way I did last year or a decade ago. I don't want to vote from the same thing. I don't want to make decisions or buying behavior the way I used to do it, the way we've done it for a long time. And what's happened is what used to matter was facts, science, accountability, my reputation, hard work, all that stuff used to matter more than anything else, and it just doesn't anymore. What I'm telling you, Mr. Robinson, and to our leagues of listeners, minions, whatever they might be, that attention equals money and influence. Period. Full stop. Write that down in your notebook, your diary. Imagine you journal. Taking a guess at that. I don't know why I'm taking a shot at you for that.
What do you have a problem with journaling?
I don't necessarily. No, I do like journaling. Actually, I do a bit of it myself. Just I don't write about it. I mentally journal.
You think?
We don't get a president that's a 34 count convicted felon based off of any of the things we would elect somebody before. We wanted change. We didn't want old school, reputable, trustworthy, I believe in science, facts, laws, bankruptcies. We don't get billionaire families that came out of nowhere because of a leaked sex tape, like the Kardashians. They didn't do anything to do it. They got a bunch of attention and monetized it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Can I guess?
Sure.
Thanks for the interaction.
Yeah. Well, I was distracted by the sex tape.
The Kardashians?
Yeah.
So the reason they can do that is they monetize the attention they have into, hey, I'll make a skincare line. I'll do something else. Yeah. And your reaction to some of that is, well, that's not true. That sucks. You can be emotional about the fact that attention equals money and influence, but you better not ignore it. You can have your feelings about it. You can be emotional that I wish it was like the old days when if I worked 40 hours of honest work, I'd get ahead. How's that working out right now? It's not. Digital thought leadership is the embodiment for people not just looking for attention for attention's sake or vanity. The modern businessman and woman, business person, needs to understand digital thought leadership is your bridge from obscurity and visibility into focus, into the market leader kind of stuff. So I'm a really big fan. I'm glad we're talking about this topic. Digital thought leadership is where you can make it or break it, to be honest. It's not just personal brand. It's around your company. It's around a bunch of other things. And to ignore that attention does, in fact, equal money and influence, you are a dinosaur. You are an extinction level event species. You're going away.
So if people, you mentioned this briefly, if you feel like a certain way about the idea around this, get over it, just accept it. when you see people have
I don't want to talk about. I don't want to debate it.
reaction to it, what is the thought process you typically run across? Is it people think it's gross? People think it's just like what is the issue that people most commonly have with
it feels cheap and hollow and shallow.
Yeah.
It feels maybe even like dirty, not like a weird sexual way, but kind of like, ooh, kind of slimy. This doesn't feel right. And I get it. I mean, so people usually respond in one of those like, gross. And then there's another half that kind of go, yeah, you're not wrong about that. So you get a mixed bag. And when people get emotional about it, I guess I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist, and I don't know what exactly is motivating their feelings around it, but I know it's misguided. A quick word before we get into it, because today's topic is one of the top 3 things I think any operator should be doing right now. Today we're talking about digital thought leadership, DTL. And look, my position is on the table. Attention equals money and influence. The customer has changed their mind. Content is the new sales call. And the only question left is whether you're going to do something about it and act like a fraud, or are you going to do it for real? I built the Attention Academy at Imperial Ventures. This one closes the gap for you. It's how operators and real businesses build real influence, not without the duck-lipped glam shots or the airport bookstore frameworks or the panel speaker fraud parade. This course is if you want to build a system. I will help you coach along the way, or we can have my team do it for you if you'd rather just hand it off to somebody and get it done right. Go to imperialventures.com, go look at the Get Started button, and if you're telling yourself you'll start when you figure this out, well, this is figuring it out. Digital thought leaders know that owning is greater than earning. Now stay with us and we're going to get into it. You can be upset about it. In fact, when I first came up with it, and I think I'll share the story with you. I was at first a complete denier of this. I told you my niece Skyla's story before, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the audience, I'll share it. The emotion I went through, the emotional game I went through. My niece, we're sitting aside, calls me Uncle Mike. She's like, Uncle Mike, have you heard about this lady who sits around and eats pickles all day and she makes $1 million a year? I'm like, Skyla, kind of a big deal. Got an MBA. Bought and sold companies. I invest in several. Nobody's making $1 million a year eating pickles. She's like, no, Uncle Mike. She sits on YouTube like, I get it, Skylar. I'm
still,
tracking. It doesn't exist. And then I kind of like, let me look it up. She was insistent. So I look it up, I'm like, oh, here's this person name. I believe it's Simple Peyton. Now, somebody can definitely help me out, but I believe that their name is Simple Peyton. And she sits on YouTube, quite literally, microphone like this, pickle, eats it. People love it. People tune in. When I checked this out, this is now 2 years ago.
This is not like a one-time video bit. This is a recurring series
channel. She's got, so this is what I said. Not just one time. She does it like every week. Like one day she does a Vlasic. Next day she does kosher. The next day she does Milwaukee's Best. Not just the beer, the pickles. And she does it, recurring thing. So I looked into it. She has, let me see if I can get you to guess. How many views has she had in the last 7 years?
Oh, God. 50 million views.
250 million views. This was as of 2 years ago, so I don't know what she has now. It was 250 million views. And she monetizes that through, usual likely channel. I think she's got a pickle sponsor, I would imagine. That'd be a layup. And she does. She makes 7 figures a year eating a pickle. Mm-hmm. And I was there with my Harvard MBA. I'm not even going to go to Harvard. Couldn't get in. But I did go to Concordia St. Paul, the Lutherans, as my grandmother would call them. And when I got my MBA,
a lot of times people refer to that as the Harvard of
St. Paul.
Of St. Paul, yeah.
Right. A lot of people. And here I was like, what? There's this whole other business. And then you start listening to people like Gary Vee. And then you listen to people like Alex Hermosi. And then you start listening to people like Prof G and Peter Zihan and some others, Yuval Harari. All these guys are telling you about what are we doing, not how people buy, but where do they spend their time? Your kids, when they have full access to their cell phone, will spend more hours on their phone, on social media, than they will at a full-time job. 42 hours a week is the average for girls 16 to 24. 42 hours a week.
Seems like a lot.
You start to hear Simple Peyton. I start to see this metadata. Some of the best, fastest growing companies are what? Viral. So when I start to see that, I had that emotion of, why do you hate it? Why is it? Because it went against everything I was told. It went against traditional marketing. It went against how do you usually build a company. It went against all those rules. And I was the first guy to say, no, it's not true. Bullshit. Then I did some research. Then what do you know? Look at this. And then you just need to look around. So I think that emotional part is my journey. Reasonably experienced, been around the block, dude, had some success. And somebody said that to me the first time in Skyla's words, right? Like, hey, eating pickles can make you money. And I'm like, bullshit. There's no way. Bet you everything I got. I said something smart like that. Then I did the research. Turns out, nope, wrong. Modern day economy. The buyers do not want to buy from your store. Ask Sears. You see their stores or their fucking catalog anymore? It's not even around. When's the last time you picked up your phone, funny enough, are you going to answer that? Because probably a sales guy or gal.
100%. It's like a number I don't even know.
How are you going to get people's attention if they won't answer your phone call? You're not going to go door to door. You're not going to email them. What are you going to do? So, sorry, I'm kind of going off the deep end there, but that's the emotion tied to, I think, this idea that the world changed. And it's not like we think it's going to change. Like there's a trend. Like, no, it changed, period. Look at the data. Look how people are buying. Look at brick and mortar retail. I don't know, take a peek at Amazon. Slightly different, but they're gaining attention in addition through these.
Yeah.
That's how they're doing it.
So I see it a little bit well, probably a lot bit differently. I see it differently.
Excuse me.
In that I agreed that attention equals money and influence. Don't disagree with that at all. I don't know if that's really all that different than it ever has been. I think people have historically made purchases, have done business with products, companies, people that they know, like, and trust. And I see what's changed is the platform in which you develop the know, like, and trust relationship with your buyer.
Right.
So, before we'll use the Sears example. You went in, you had a conversation with the salesperson, right? Now
you have to look at the washer and dryer before you bought it.
I don't want to fucking talk to anybody. I hate humans, right? Like I don't want to talk to other people.
Economic units.
Right. Economic units. Yeah. And so, Amazon or, picking, those are the better option for purchasing things today. But I also know, like, and trust Amazon. I know it's going to be high quality at a reasonable price, and it's going to fucking show up at my doorstep. It used to be 3 days from now, then it was tomorrow. Now it's this afternoon.
Same day.
Right. So like I know, like, and trust them. How they built that relationship with me is dramatically different than how Sears or Kmart or pick your retail dinosaur that's gone extinct. Your favorite one is the example. Amazon has done it different than they did it.
Mm-hmm.
So I see it as, yes, the world has changed. What you're trying to accomplish is really not all that different than what people have always tried to accomplish, and that is build a relationship with your consumer so they know, like, and trust you. Do you agree with that?
100%.
Okay.
That was just my opening tirade.
I can't wait for the meat of it then.
Well, yeah, wait till we get to the meat and bones. You're right. To get to know, like, and trust someone accelerates that buying behavior. I don't think that has gone away.
Right.
I mean, that's a part of, like, people knew who Donald Trump was and they voted for him anyway, right? I mean, they still did. People, like, and trust, even though you're like, it's not what it used to be. He had enough attention and conveyed enough of, hey, I'm with you. Never mind the past or the things. I'm with you. I'll have your best interest in mind. And
he even took it a step further than that. It wasn't even like hey, forget about the past. It was they're just making all this up. They're picking on me.
There's that.
And by picking on me, they're picking on you. Like he used all those platforms to kind of like fuel or fan those flames.
Yeah, and that's sort of, and this is where I think attention gets the bad word right now, because we're talking about digital thought leadership on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's different than maybe how Donald Trump's using it. I use Donald Trump as the example of attention will get you influence.
Yeah.
Good, bad, and different, however you want to use it. His case got him elected twice, frankly. So
really 3 times, Mike, but they stole one of them. So For those of us keeping
I
count.
don't see the navy blue blazers with the FBI on back come storming in just yet, but no, you're right. So I think to move this along a little bit off of just attention, because the real meat is, you've got to understand that as a basic core thing, like attention. Attention looked like the catalog, right?
Yeah.
It looked like the catalog turn of the century.
Yeah.
Then it was maybe radio. Then it was maybe TV. Then it was, I have a website. Now it's social media, interest media, as Gary Vee likes to call it. What I think we're talking about is this rise, and it's one that I love and ones that we try to engage with, is digital thought leadership. That's different. Well, it's a use of attention in a different way. You're bringing, in digital thought leadership, you're bringing your worldview, your curated tastes and experience forward, and tried to provide your audience, your community, the community, some sense of education and entertainment, maybe both, right? So they do what? Know, like, and trust you.
Right.
I'm now going to buy something from you. I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to vote for you. I'm going to show up at a rally with you. You're going to change my actual buying behavior, change my behavior, period, because I know, like, and trust you now. You never met me. You didn't have to take me to coffee, but you showed up on social media consistently with a clear message of something. I now know, like, and trust you. I've changed that pattern. That is fundamentally different than at any other time, I think, in our history. And people who don't understand that now, you're invisible. We talk about this. I mean, think about, well, Josh, your idea was to have a YouTube channel. What the hell were we thinking? Right?
I don't know if I'd say it was my idea, but
our idea. You're right. It was
so I want to talk about our journey and how we got here and what we're doing here. But I think what's important in that, though, and maybe start with this, is, so I agree with you. A lot of times people are like, "Ew, this is gross." For whatever reason, I don't want to do it. The other thing I hear pretty consistently from people is, and touches on what you just mentioned, I don't really have anything of value to put out there. And, well, I think my response to that would be, for sure you do. Everyone does, right? You just got to
Some
figure out
degree,
what,
right.
what are you passionate about? What are you good at? What are you best at? And don't be concerned that you're way niched down. Some of the best things that have started have really started incredibly small. So focus on that, right? And so that how that's played out for us is we realized, hey, we are a small venture capital firm that have big ambitions. Why don't we start putting out content that underscores how we think about the startup world, the investment space, and just talk about what we know?
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is, over time, it'll build a following of really twofold. One, potential investors that want to put money into the funds that we raise. And the second piece of that is hopefully build a deal flow pipeline of current and future founders that are going to ultimately be looking for investment. So we are, when they get to a point of that they want to raise money, we're a natural one that, hey, who are those two
That's right.
jackasses that
That's
are
right.
always on the podcast talking about venture? I'm going to reach out to them and see if they're interested in my deal. So it doesn't have to be like you're like transactionally selling someone a service or a product. It can be something like us where, we're building a platform and we want people to have access to that.
Yeah. One thing you made me think as you were talking, which is, that story about us going is exactly right. Get people to know, like, and trust us. But there's also and it's not just deal flow. It's not or for entrepreneurs or deal flow for investors that want to invest into funds. It's the idea of we talk out loud enough about real topics, real situation. You're going to love this. See if we can zoom in on his face on this one. But it's the Simon Sinek. We just relax. Simon Sinek. We want to do business with people who believe what we believe. I know you hate that, but I think you'd agree. As you get to know us and as we talk through this, as our digital thought
wash down the
leadership.
vomit that just came up in the back of my throat.
But people are going to be like, okay, I see those guys. I get their take. I've listened to them talk between a range of issues, and they actually seem pretty reasonable. The alternative to that is they've got to go to coffee and a breakfast with some other venture capital gal or guy and listen to them spiel for 45 minutes over eggs and pancakes and see if they like them and make a really snap decision. Or they can tune into us every week and get a sense of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to be a fraud for just a minute or two. We know that. But to do that sustained, people are like, okay, I get it. I think that's the interruption to the buying behavior, or at least the pattern we've recognized, or the goal we want to do. So it's that we want people who believe what we believe. I already get. I'm never going to convince the Harvard guy who's buttoned up 3-piece suit to go down to Wall Street and he plays the stocks and bonds game. He will never want to hang with me or she, right? We're probably looking for self-made dudes, not trust fund kids. I don't know. You come from a big trust fund?
I do not.
I don't either.
Yeah.
We probably don't vibe with them.
Yeah.
We're self-made men, women, entrepreneurs, etc. That's our jam. Those are our people.
That would likely be one of, if not the biggest piece of advice to people that are thinking about doing this in terms of starting to put content out, build a digital thought leadership presence, is know that you are not going to be a fit for everyone and be okay with that, and
Preach.
try to figure out who you are a fit for and really go after and target that audience and be very specific to what that audience is looking for.
Yeah. Isn't that it? When we talk about digital thought leadership, you have to be sort of exclusionary to some degree. Like, you got to have a viewpoint, a worldview, an opinion on something. That opinion is going to isolate some folks. And you focus on the people you isolate, but put your focus on the people that attract you. If you start telling me how big of a Minnesota Vikings fan you are, I'm like, hey, buddy, what else you got?
Yeah.
You tell me you like the Minnesota Wild. Really? What else is this guy? This guy's pretty cool. Now, the people in Green Bay, who gives a shit about Green Bay, but the people in Green Bay are going to be like, nah, you don't worry about Green Bay. They still probably hear the rest of what you're saying. Like, I don't know. But the bond you make with those people who've got commonality with you becomes greater. So, and those are just kind of side things, but that's the point is people who already kind of get you, and they're probably already there. In fact, the more you share and the more you lead, share that opinion, share that take you've got, they're just going to know, like, and trust you more.
So break down the mechanics of it. I mean, how do you put that first step out, first foot out there and take that initial step into doing this?
Well, I think you've got to talk about, let me back up. I think you need to think about first, what is your worldview? That sounds sort of silly to think like, what is my worldview? What do I believe is true, sort of thing. That's not it's big enough
in general or to a specific.
So just whatever your passion is. I would find like, and it's not like passion like, hey, I like eating Fruity Pebbles in the morning, but passion like, what's the thing that you can do consistently that you probably are going to be energized to do it every time, or most of the time to do it. So for me, for you, for us, it's business, talking startups, talking investing, that we can do all day long. For the next person, it might be gardening.
Sure.
It could be, how about this weekend? This is going to be off track, but talking about the ponies, the Kentucky Derby. I was talking to all my people who, and I only have like 3 or 4 people that I know how to actually pick a horse race, right? Turns out I didn't talk to them either because I picked them all wrong. So it doesn't have to be business, but you need to think like a business person when you're doing it. So you got to think, what's my viewpoint? What's the desired outcome I want out of this? And you just start to speak to it, right? What was, and hopefully that gives you influence. If you're in business, that worldview is going to hopefully lead to money somehow because people are going to know, like, and trust you and do it. Or they're going to know, like, and trust you, and you can influence them to vote or take an action that's not purchasing to go do something else. So I think you have to figure out what that is. And that sounds silly, and everybody hates that first journey of self-discovery. What do you believe? I can tell you I believe that owning is greater than earning, period. I bring that to the world, and I can back that up because I've been that's not true. Last 20 years, I've been an entrepreneur and then an investor. That's real for me.
Right.
You would have a similar story.
Right.
Others need to sort of share that with them. So that's step number 1. What are you uniquely qualified to talk about with some amount of passion or expertise?
And so once you figure that out, then what do you do? Just turn the camera on and start.
Yeah. So I think what when we say digital thought leadership is, it doesn't always have to be video. I mean, you can leverage faceless YouTube videos. You can do posts of kitten posters to, backed up with some, some of the latest.
You are a
hip-hop.
big fan of kitten.
Yeah. Kitten posters. You can do that with a couple slogans and, put it to the beat of some of the hip hoppers. What do we call them? Artists out there. And, you can do that. It's good old fashioned communication. Right now, what you're finding in digital thought leadership is video messaging really is hitting home. That is like the very big sweet spot. Doesn't have to be you on camera all the time, talking, preaching, doing whatever you're doing. It can be other mediums that deliver it, audiobooks, podcasts that don't look like this without the cameras. You can lean into it. Yeah, that's what it is. I think you need to come up with your platform, come up with a theory, a thesis, a philosophy, and start preaching it and see who likes it. Or if you're entertaining people, come up with a series of bits, and try to entertain folks. I think that's where those are some of the places you start. First, figure out who you are, what you believe. And then, there's the ABCs. You need to get it on social media. Where are your people you want to influence or get money from? Obviously, if I'm trying to sell a lipstick or a makeup product, probably want to get on TikTok. Focus on...
Not LinkedIn.
Not LinkedIn. LinkedIn won't work. If I'm selling HIPAA compliant regulation, I'd probably want to be on LinkedIn. Stay away from TikTok. But all of the social medias, period, you should be on some element of all of them. To be honest with you, the lipstick people should sort of be on LinkedIn, but not in the same way. Same with the HIPAA compliant folks.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, I look at TikTok. You probably look at TikTok. Even think of the silliest platform. You look at it to some degree, they're still going to target you. So I think I'm rambling. So save me. Where am I going with this?
This is good. You're talking about the mechanics of just getting started. So once you've got your worldview, kind of figured out, here's how I'm going to talk about it. Here are the platforms in which I need to be talking about it.
Yeah. So
how often do you post? How much content do you need to be putting out there?
Well, what I do and what others should do, wildly different, right? I'm posting several times a day. I think about sales.
Why?
Because it's a sales call to me.
Okay.
I think let me back up. I do it multiple times a day because I want the greatest exposure or more exposure that's non-repetitive, that people can see me in the morning or the night, or there's something else going on and they get to see me.
Sure.
Once a day is pretty light. When you think about, this is getting a little bit in the weeds, but when you start to generate real content, often you can make a lot of content pretty quickly. So you might have all this content like, okay, good, I'm going to post once a day. Wouldn't do it. More is more here, gang. More is more. So if you're just starting, I'll just say this, start messy, post once a day. Till you get the hang of it, till you really get your voice. When you know what you're going to do, you know how you're going to monetize it, then I think you go into sort of like beast mode and just start posting, bringing attention to your area of focus. And that can be what did Gary Vee just say the other day? He posts 412 individual pieces of content a day across 81 usernames. I think it's 10 platforms, 81, at Gary Vee Theater, at Gary Vee Gardening, whatever it is. He's got all these different handles. 412. And he's got a big audience, and he's had a big audience. I don't know. What should we be posting with no audience? More? Probably. More is more here. But if you're starting, start messy. Just start getting used to it, getting used to the pace. Get some feedback. And I'm going to let you in on a secret, Josh. May I share something with you?
Please.
A quick break. If you've been listening to the show for a while, you already know what I'm about to say. Most of what we talk about on Burn Right and Bullshit is the same problem in different costumes. People build real things versus people who pretend to. People who own outcomes versus people who collect titles. People who execute versus people who post about executing. Impero Ventures is the company I built for the first group. There's 3 pillars. The Impero Way. How do you get started? The Raise Academy for how to get funded, and the Attention Academy. How do you build influence the right way? Each one one of those outcomes as a course. And if you want to learn it, I'll help coach with you. I'll walk you through it. Or done for you if you'd rather just have my team run it. 20 plus ventures, $55 million raised, 3 exits, the same playbook I've used. Packaged so you can use it. Go to ImperoVentures.com. If you've been listening to the show and nodding along, stop nodding. Go build something for yourself. We'll meet you there. Your first couple posts are going to be terrible. Yeah. They're going to look like it's a hostage video. I mean, it's going to look terrible. You're going to get 1 like and it's going to be your mom and your husband or wife. Thanks, Mom. It's great. As somebody's got a mom who somewhat active on the socials.
Well, it's like that old adage of if you're not embarrassed by the first product you shipped,
Right.
you
It's-
waited too long.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I'll ask you a question. People love authenticity. They hate polished and professional sort of in this stuff. If I look really manicured, if I got this bronzy tan and perfectly groomed beard and a 3-piece suit and put a Rolex on and was like doing all the things, yeah, it's not super relatable. Be genuine, be who you are. Because the fact is, people like you, Josh. People like me. If you just be who you're going to be, it's going to be great. And it's the combination of that. And I'm going to, Matthew Ray Scott, our favorite hillbilly poet warrior.
Self-described.
Yeah, self-described, I think. I help him describe himself that way. He'll tell you, you deliver that message and you have to punch him in the amygdala. Meaning you got to get their attention too. You can't be this blah, blah, same thing, background noise. You got to punch him in the amygdala and take him go, wait, what did he just say? How is he doing that? I'm confused. I'm intrigued. I want to lean in.
Yeah.
He's great about that stuff. So I'm sort of babbling all the way around the fence to say, I think you got to start messy. I think you've got to just start doing it and don't do, oh my God, can I rant? I got upset internally.
I'm sorry. I saw it. Like, it's
Don't
like physically.
Yeah, well, because what I was
going
going to say is don't do the, you know how you see on LinkedIn or insert the social media platform, just finished up my workout and they do it, or it's just me being cute, doing the duck lips, doing the thing. And then they'll tell you about HR compliance. And I'm like, I don't connect those two.
Yeah.
Here's me after my Formula One race camp. Buy life insurance from me. Now, that's punching the amygdala, but here's what you ought not to do. This is not a selfie contest. Don't keep taking selfies of yourself and posting something smart behind it. Try to mix it up. Sorry. That's a personal.
You don't have to name names, but are there a couple people like you see all the time that just drive you insane?
A lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
And that's what they're doing. It's just
It's selfies and nothing else. It's like pretend glam shots, but I'm going to do it professionally. So then it makes it okay. Some women do that. Some men do that. I mean, it's like the gym bros and the glam girls. I mean, everyone's doing it sort of. And I shouldn't social media hate or shame. Like don't body shame, don't social media shame. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. I think people would be better served to use your worldview, your thought leadership, deploy that out into the world. Do that instead of
to me it feels lazy when people do what you're describing.
Yeah.
I would agree. You would be better served by not doing anything than doing that all the time. And it does it. So I want to talk about that. I mean, how much work does this take? So if someone's just starting, how much effort should they reasonably expect to be putting into something like this?
So I think the question you're driving at, like, hey, how much does it take to put social media content out there? Because I think there's a whole process that you need to be kind of like what we do for the show. Lots of prep, lots of research.
Some of us more than others.
Some of us more than that. But we do research. I listen to current events. I try to keep a pulse. We talk to hundreds of people a week. And all we talk is business. So we're informed and we're sort of like, so take that out of it. That's sort of like table stakes. You know what the hell you're talking about. You're current on your thing. To sit down and produce the digital assets you'll put out into the world, that's actually not as difficult as you might think. You actually can sit down and record yourself or help a friend, or you can get a producer, you can get all kinds of people to help you sit down and record your thoughts, your ideas, your answers to questions. That can take an hour, 2 hours a week. And then you can have a bunch of people help you to edit it, to make it sound and look good, or as good as you're going to look, and as good as you're going to sound.
Yeah.
And then help you post
There
it.
are
So-
some decent AI tools out there that'll do a lot of that for you as well.
Army of One, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can get all kinds of people to edit, or not people, all kinds of apps that will edit your
Yeah.
clips. And then I think you got to have a touch of, what makes sense here, what's reasonable. So, you don't need to dedicate, and believe me when I say the reward you get for the amount of time you put in, it's completely inverse than, let's say, doing something manual or doing sales calls or doing emails or going to 17 events and like, I'm going to host a dinner party with 8 people. I don't know, post on LinkedIn and get to 80,000 this week with the same message.
So how do you respond to someone saying, okay, let's take this to the logical extreme. Everybody was doing digital thought leadership. Does that not just crowd the field? Does everything get lost in the noise then if we were all doing this?
I think in that scenario, yes, that would happen. Everybody should be doing this. That's my take.
Yeah.
Hot take, maybe.
Well, and you started with that too.
Yeah.
I mean, right? So
I
it's
think
like,
you should.
so I mean,
Yeah, there's
Play that out,
there's
though,
three,
like-
there's 3 things everybody should do. You should own your own company. You should start the thing you're the expert in.
mhm.
You should leverage the shit out of that with AI, and you should be a digital thought leader on social media. Everybody should do that. Everybody should floss too. Everybody should save 20% of their check. Everybody should go for a walk and run. Everybody should not smoke. How's that working out for everybody, Josh? So this
Not
is
great.
for the do-gooders and the entrepreneurs and the ambitious folks out there. I'm not worried about a scenario or a world in which everybody's doing this, because there are some people who will do it and there's some people who won't. And the people who do it, and maybe that's the thing we're saying here, at least the one thing I'm advocating for, like, yeah, in your scenario, it would look brutal. Everybody trying to hammer out. It's one of the reasons, frankly, I got started and we started doing this. We've seen all the idiots out there, all the frauds. Oh, I've started one company. I'm a serial entrepreneur. You sure? Well, how many people do you need to kill to become a serial killer? 4 or 5? Right?
More than one.
More than one.
Right.
And so don't say you're a serial entrepreneur unless you've started shit a half dozen, then come back to us. Come back and talk to me. Okay, cool. Welcome to the table. I digress.
But there was that one lemonade stand one time. And
Had a car wash growing up. Right. So my take on what people ought to do and what they end up doing are just, there's such a huge delta between those two things. I'm not worried about crowding that out. Most people don't start because they think of that.
yeah.
They think I'm too fat, dumb, and stupid to say anything. I'm not accomplished enough to do anything. How about Mr. Beast? Remember what he did to get started?
Well, and he was a teenager. I mean, he was a kid.
Yep.
When he started.
He started anyway. He counted to 100,000 live, and a bunch of people subscribed to it, listened in. He recorded the whole thing, counted to 100,000. He's got, do you know how many subscribers he has on YouTube?
Oh, well, he's the number one.
Yep.
It's got to be over it's hundreds of millions. I know that.
He's the most watched person on the planet. The kid, as a teenager, who started with 100,000, counting to 100,000. He now has over 500 million subscribers on YouTube. The most watched person.
Is that a lot?
It seems that, here's the thing. Get this for scale. 120,000 subscribers a day join his channel. Every single day. So he didn't have any experience, a viewpoint, a worldview sort of. My worldview is I'm going to do cool, crazy shit I'm going to record it and see if people want to follow it. Turns out they do.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out they do. So people need to get over all of that stuff and just focus in on, hey, I'm going to do content that he was going for entertainment and sort of like, yuck it up, sort of like, hey, what's the craziest next thing I can do? That's probably not our lane, and that's not what we're advocating for.
Right.
We're talking about digital thought leadership, meaning you use social media to get your your voice and your viewpoint out there about your market, the marketplace, your industry, your company, yourself, whatever that is.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
That's the lane we're talking about here. And a lot of people ought to do it. Most everybody should be doing it is my take. And you will find out, what was the stat? 0.01%. Well, think about this. Think about your own LinkedIn feed. 0.01% of LinkedIn users post something once a day. 0.1% of all of
Tenth of a percent.
Yep. That's really
Honestly,
low.
that is low, and that is higher than I would have guessed. If you would have asked me how much, I would have guessed a much lower number. And that is still really low.
It's still really low. So there.
I mean, we push the CEOs of all of our portfolio companies
Talk about
to
that.
do this.
Yeah, right.
So you come out of us to lead this.
Yeah.
Probably about a year ahead of me doing anything personally, and before we started doing something together. And that introduced us to a lot of different tools out there. As soon as we, as a kind of company, as X156 Venture, started getting behind this idea of attention equals influence and money, we started pulling our portfolio companies into this, and our CEO is saying, hey, thou shall have a social media presence. And ideally, you're talking about the company that we've invested into.
Yeah.
And if
maybe not the chili you're making this weekend, but maybe.
And if not, okay, but you need to have a social media presence. You need to start building, your customers need to know, like, and trust you. Mm-hmm. Start building those relationships through these platforms. Some have done it more than others. The ones that have really leaned into it have had some fantastic results.
That's right.
Just absolute fantastic results.
I think we love it from an investment standpoint. Digital thought leadership is future sales funnel.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you want to, and they do work
without really having to be salesy about it. That's
right.
That's what I
and
love
again,
most
people
about
always, and you'll get this too. Remember, so in our portfolio, we have med device, frozen pizza, liposuction. We've got a range, and everybody's first reaction sort of is like, I know it works for, selling candy with, Snickers bars. That's not going to work in my industry. Bullshit.
No, we have HR,
do the
tech platforms. Yeah. I mean, we've got it all, and it works for every one of them.
Take a look at the buying patterns of your ideal, consumer profile. Mm-hmm. They will tell you they're on fucking TikTok. Mm-hmm. It'll tell you they're on LinkedIn. They will tell you they're in Facebook Marketplace. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be there? You sure about that? Like you said, I mean, if someone was just flat out, and I know I'm not the only vote on our investment committee, but if somebody were to be flat like, no, social media is bullshit, digital thought leader, my thing is too good, here it is. That's all I need to do. Yeah. I'm not going to demean myself by doing a TikTok. You invested in that guy? I'm not. No. Or that gal.
And TikTok, I mean, use that as an example. That may not be the platform, but there is a platform out there that makes sense, right?
But it's somebody that doesn't quite get it. And I think people who get it know digital thought leadership is so important, so powerful that we need to. You know what's not important anymore? Let me ask you this. Do credentials mean more to you, or do followers and attention and views mean more to you?
I don't even look at credentials, honestly. It's almost got the reverse effect on me now than it did 10, 20 years ago, where the more credentials I see on someone's LinkedIn handle, the more I'm like, this person doesn't get it. It doesn't make.
I should maybe take off my MBA on my LinkedIn profile.
I think I still have. Mine still says like CMA.
It's good feedback. Yeah. CMA.
What's
certified medical assistant? Good for you. You went back and got
certified management accountant. Yeah.
We're saying the same thing.
Yeah. What is your favorite platform right now, and why?
Well, for two reasons, both sides of my mouth. I love LinkedIn for business, period, because I think we can get really strategic, really smart. We're likely talking to our people that we talk to are in the networks of the people that we want to talk to, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah,
we're getting so close, and I think it's an acceptable platform to be businessy, maybe not salesy, but you can be businessy. You can push your business agenda a little bit, and you can, and there's enough room to be a little personal and have a little personality
Sure.
there. Sometimes people go a little off the deep end there, but that's my fave. For us kids that
At burn rate?
burn rate and bullshit, love YouTube. YouTube is amazing.
Yeah.
I think this is, I mean, if we would have talked about we got the plaque on the wall, our knuckleheaded experience, and then, but also we can't stop. We should probably stop saying that, or at least I should. We're kind of a big deal now. We're becoming a bigger deal by the moment.
Yeah.
We got that at 100,000 as of this recording. We're at 415, 420.
Yeah.
400 in less than it's probably 6 months now. First week of December, first week of May.
First week of December to first week of May. Yeah, so that's 5 months.
So yeah, loving that. How just if it goes back to Gary Vee always says this, it's not social media anymore, it's attention media. Sorry, it's interest media.
Yeah.
I'm messing that up. Interest. If people who know, like, and trust us, and they like business, they like investing, they like startups, they're gonna like and trust us. And how easy for us to be a bunch of knuckleheads and talk about the thing we like and monetize it. And that's so I'm loving those two. What's your fave?
So
Are we gonna talk about Discord again with
no,
your kids'
although
Discord?
I'm not on Discord. Sorry, my wife has texted me. I'll read it to you.
Ooh, live. Ooh, I love text theater. I gotta tell you a story about this later.
Luke, who's our middle son.
This is live. This is
live.
not a bit.
No, this is not a bit. Our middle son, he's 10. Luke just brought home a backpack full of baby bunnies. You can't make this shit up. She's not
Humanitarian.
joking. She sent me pictures. There is 1, 2, 3,
Post production, we got to get those in.
4, 5. I can't quite tell if that's
Where do you
5 or
find
6.
them in the ditch on the way
I don't
home?
know. I have no context here. All I got is that we are
A bag full of bunnies.
bag full of bunnies. Hashtag bag full of bunnies. So your favorite is my least. I fucking hate LinkedIn because of our experience with burn rate in LinkedIn. I have personally been put into LinkedIn jail twice now because of this show. We are not LinkedIn friendly. They don't like any of our clips.
They don't like the potty word, right?
They don't like the potty words. So I'm not a fan of LinkedIn right now. I do love YouTube. For similar, just because of our experience. We've had really great success on YouTube, and I love it because of that. There are some platform things there that I would change if I was in charge of YouTube, but all in all,
turns out you're not.
Turns out I'm not. My all-time favorite social platform right now is TikTok.
Hey, all right.
Because you can put on TikTok whatever the fuck you want. And you can boost whatever the hell. I mean,
Josh, do you have a hashtag we want to, what is it?
God bless the Chinese. They have got it figured out with TikTok. Hashtag God bless the Chinese. Because you can do whatever the hell you want on TikTok, which is great for a brand like ours.
What's our handle on TikTok? Do we know it?
Mark, is it at burnrate_BS? I think that's what the handle is on most of the channels.
Yeah, it's nice.
Follow now.
By the way, are we not putting all of our... By the way, we're sitting here talking about... In our YouTube, do we have like all of the... This is like a production meeting now. Do we have all of our handles and like all of our description of all the shows?
Yeah.
Oh, I should pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big consumer of our content.
One thing I don't like about TikTok is you cannot link to an external source from your TikTok post. So you can't do like your
YouTube channel
from your post. And there's a couple of platforms that
they want you to stay on their platform.
They want you to stay on their platform.
Keep giving us your
So
eyeballs.
TikTok, hashtag God bless the Chinese.
Yeah. What other hot take do you... I feel like I want...
My grandfathers are rolling in their graves.
Yes, they are. But do you agree with it? Like, I hated it at first too, and a lot of people will not do it. But you agree
TikTok or digital thought leadership?
The idea of social media, how much time we spend on it, how it's influenced our buying behavior.
Yeah.
And again, part of the start of the show was facts don't matter. Your hardworking doesn't matter. Your reputation of being a good dude won't matter. you likely won't get any more business because of that. You go on TikTok, and Chinese will let you be you. How many more people are you going to have? You're going to get more business. And those results seem just so counterintuitive from our old school way of thinking.
Right.
But fuck off. That doesn't matter. There's a new sheriff in town. It's called attention.
And it equals influence and money.
Turns out. Digital thought leadership.
Do it.
Do it. Own your own shit. Own your company. Back it with AI. Develop your voice, your digital thought leadership, or you're lost. You're being visible.
Scene.
And scene. Send lawyers, guns, and money. That's it for this round of Burn, Rate, and Bullshit.
Where the only thing we sugarcoat is our coffee.
If you like what you heard, great. If you didn't, even better.
Hit subscribe and send this to an exec who keeps saying AI will help you focus on strategic work while cutting your team. And remember, hype dies, execution wins. Stop panicking, start upskilling. Next time on Burn, Rate, and Bullshit, every exec is promising AI will free you up for higher value work while quietly freezing hiring and raising your quota. If your company's AI strategy is just a headcount cut with better PR, you're not building a smarter workforce, you're just starving the pipeline that creates your next senior hire.
Send lawyers, guns, and money. This shit has hit the fan.